What's good, everybody? It's Big Game James, man. I'm back in the building and, took a little break right quick. Get ready for these next two rounds today and tomorrow with the NFL draft. Obviously, we saw the draft yesterday. A record, 21 offensive players were picked, tied for most quarterbacks taken ever, 5. So some records were set. But let's talk about these Dallas Cowboys right now, what they did. So shout out to my dog Joe Castro as we did our Best of Enemies draft show yesterday. It was very interesting. Eagles got their guy in Quinyon Mitchell. That was a great pick. But let's go to these Cowboys. And the Cowboys traded back with the Kansas City Chiefs. They ended up getting Xavier Worthy. Cowboys dropped down to 29, gathered up an extra third, and it's in the top of the round. So I think they're picking like around 11th in the third. So they're in that top half. So they really need to get busy in that second and third round. That's going to be crucial today on these second and third rounds. And then obviously 4 through 7, I believe, is Saturday. 2 and 3 is the day. So today is going to be critical on who they pick. And we'll see. I said Jonathan Brooks, but they've been talking about it. I don't know. Eagles were hearing that they were trying to get in. They had to leapfrog. They might have to do picks. We'll see what happens. But definitely feel like if in these 3 picks, you got to get your linebacker, you got to get your running back you like, maybe a receiver, but definitely your running back and your linebacker and possibly your defensive tackle. I've been talking about DeAndre Sweat, him possibly falling. I've been watching his mock drafts. He's been falling in mock drafts when we were doing them. Maybe it's because the DWI, the motor isn't always hot, but the potential is crazy. A double up third, and he was there early and nobody touched him. That's a pick that the Cowboys should do, in my opinion. They need to attack that defensive line for real. But Tyler Guyton, 6'8", 322 pounds, offensive tackle from Oklahoma. If you watched our draft show early, I wasn't on the later draft shows, but the first couple draft shows we did, we talked about offensive tackle. I'm not the offensive lineman guru, but Tyler Guyton was one of the guys that I was talking about to look at based on the potential, okay? Based on the potential of what he could be, you know what I mean? I was out at the Senior Bowl. Sorry. I was out at the Senior. I was just looking at some of his stuff. But I was at the Senior Bowl. I was actually about to interview him, but the time had ended, so I couldn't, and I didn't get it on the other interview. But a former tight end, like I said, big kid. When you saw him out there, he stood out at the Senior Bowl. Athletic ability, obviously, if you play tight end, started out playing tight end and they moved him to tackle. Doesn't have a lot of experience, but 14 starts, mostly at right tackle, 1 start at left. So he's super green, super raw. If you watch his tape, there's a lot of potential there. So kudos for the Cowboys trading back and adding that pick in the third, because you lost that 4th round pick. You gave up your 7th 2025 pick. We ain't tripping on that. So that was the kudos that you were able to drop down those spots, still get a top tackle with a lot of elite skills, elite length, hands, size, has all the elite traits. But he's not ready, probably. Let's keep it real. When they drafted, I heard people in the streets talking about Tyler Smith. Well, everybody was saying that pick about Tyler Smith, and look what he did. But I think if you looked at Tyler Smith's tape compared to Tyler Guyton's tape, I'm going to say Tyler Smith was a little more ready than Tyler Guyton. And I just feel like all the elite, you get a good grade because you traded down and you got that extra pick and you got a guy who could be elite, right? You lost out on Graham Barton. You lost out on Jordan Morgan. So you saw the offensive lineman going, but to still pick up a guy like that at 29, where it was right around that range, and like I said, the elite skills, you look at that as a good grade. But if you're talking about playing right now, throwing him in the fire, where would he play? Because he hasn't played any left tackle, all right tackle. Terrence Steele is your right tackle. There was talk about Terrence Steele possibly moving to guard. Don't know if that chatter ever was real, but it was considered. Also, it tells me you're keeping Tyler Smith at your left guard because you feel like he's elite there. So I don't know if your scenario of Terrence Steele ever moving to guard, because if that was to be the case, then you're kicking Tyler Smith at left tackle and Tyler Guyton at right tackle, his more natural position, I guess. They say he can transition over to the left side. Offensive linemen know that more. I love to talk to the OC and those guys and what they think. But I think right now, when you looked at his tape, he can be really good, but he's just really raw. And I feel like coming into the league, he gonna get worked a little bit, in my opinion. He gonna get worked, especially if you throw him out there at left tackle, keep Tyler Smith at left guard, and Terrence Steele at right tackle, and you put him out at left tackle. I don't think he's ready for that. I think it's gonna be a lot of issues because the mobility's there, but he reaches, lunges, doesn't sit really well all the time. Size is good. Wonder about the anchor at times. Got a nice little streak to him, but I just don't think he's ready to be a day one starter right now. I just feel like he's a little too raw for that. And I just feel like if they throw him out there right now, he gonna get worked up a little bit, especially this year. He gonna get worked up, and there's gonna be some issues, and you worry about him losing confidence. So you still got a Sim Richards from last year that you had at left tackle that you can develop, and maybe you can let him, because he's at the end of the round, maybe you can let him take his time coming in. But y'all said all in, so we'll see with this year. It's a big year for the team. I don't think you would want to do developmental. Feel me? Because this year's developmental, and he's not your starter day one. I don't know. You Sim Richards, he would be your fallback guy to be your starter. I don't want to see no Matt Willets go out there. Not me. They keep trying to push him. I don't want to see Willets go. But it is what it is. So Tyler Guyton picked from the University of Oklahoma. Elite traits, but I feel like he's hella green, and I don't think he's ready for that life to be a starter at left tackle. And we'll see how it goes. We'll see how the rest of the rounds go today. If they can get their running back, if they can get their linebacker, and possibly a defensive tackle or edge. But do I like the pick based on the potential? Yes. Based on starting right now out the gate, no, because I think he gonna struggle. Just me, just my opinion. I think he's gonna struggle. But like I said, we'll see. But I would give the grade a B based on potential. So let me know what y'all think about it. We'll talk more. I'm supposed to be doing a show today with my college football dogs. First draft show is supposed to be on UK fans for the draft. And I'm going to be having Mike Fisher on this weekend as well to talk about the draft and Dak Prescott, all that stuff. So tune in. Good stuff coming up. I think you'll like it. Check me out on College Football Dogs, my station I'm rocking with right now. Also check out, we'll probably do a best of enemies. Burgers and Blitzes may go down. I know Mike said he wanted to do it, and then I'm going to have Mike Fisher on here as well. So jam-packed little weekend. So tune in. Big Game James. I'm out. Peace.